And we're back, guys. Time now. Game number 2 of Na'Vi versus Vega Squadron. Na'Vi, in pretty spectacular fashion, take game number 1 and game number 2. Draft is underway. I'm GoDz, and joining me is Scant once again. We've got Na'Vi with a 1-0 lead, and they've gone completely in a different direction this game, it feels like, with this opening pick, Scant.
Yeah, and this is actually more fitted to what they've been doing recently. They've really been favoring the Tira's Lycan recently, which is it's something interesting because it's a hero that Avos used to play a lot in Na'Vi as well. So I guess the team as a whole still backing it. Artstyle liking to pick it for him. And when you start with the first pick Lycan, it kind of sends that message. Last game Vega were the ones doing the pushing, and this game it's gonna be Na'Vi, whether you like it or not. You can't really outpush the Lycan. It's interesting on that basis. I think that Na'Vi ban out the Chen anyway. I guess not liking it for their Lycan strategy, or not wanting to maybe thinking that's the one hero that could actually pressure earlier than the Lycan would. But yeah, Vega Squadron did ban Lycanthrope, I think, in the second phase last game, and so Na'Vi making sure they get it up in the first phase this time.
Yep. Well, Vega then respond with Bane and Ember's Spirit, not just the Chen, but also the Brood, kind of banning out hero. Well, the Brood ban at least something that could bother their lanes, but Vega had picked up one of the most annoying heroes to lane against in the Bane itself. And we'll see what Vega look to pair along with this. As far as, is Lycan just going to be, do you feel like this hero just fits into more kind of push-oriented strats, or are there kind of other ways you can fit this into a draft?
I mean, Lycan can actually end up fighting once he gets BKB, whatever. But if you're asking, is he going to buy a Necro book? I think, yeah, he's going to buy a Necro book. I think it's 99% given that that's the way the hero is going to be run. And on that basis, it's the main plan with the Lycan is to just Deathball, to push in a way that the enemy team just can't deal with it. But sometimes you do see Lycans backing up if the game goes later after the BKB, going into Abyssal Blade or various other things. The Lycan change in this patch, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that now they changed the way the crit works with the wolves, and now all the summons can crit now. I think his Necros maybe can crit too.
Let me just quickly get a check on that. I know they made some tweaks to around that one. Let me just.
I think they said it so that when he ulties, all his summons can crit, and the normal summon ability, the wolves just have a chance to cripple.
Yes, that's right. They get the cripple at level 2, which is the 8 damage per second and losing attack speed as well. So it's the shapeshift that now grants every unit you have the critical strike, yeah, including your Necro books, like you mentioned.
Which is a lot more damage. I don't know if you've come across this here in pubs, but I've seen quite a lot actually. A Lycan in shapeshift actually running away and just leaving the units to solo kill someone, the wolves and the Necros.
Well, we'll see how Vega look to respond to this one. Na'Vi have gone for a second pick Lich of all things, something less oriented to the push strat, but more kind of looking to secure their lanes and give them something a bit more kind of defensive for the laning stage, perhaps you could say.
It's defensive in a particular way though, right? So Lich is going to win you a lane, but Lich is actually not conventionally a good protective, sort of safe lane defensive support. So I think now if Vega Squadron want to go contest the Ditchera Lycan in the safe lane, that could be an issue for Na'Vi, and I wonder if Na'Vi will consider maybe putting the Lycan in the mid lane instead, because the chances are the Lich goes in the aggressive dual lane, and I just think that Lycan +1 support in the safe lane can definitely be pressured early on.
And I feel like that's also partly why they didn't want to run the Chen as well, because as much as Chen Lycan's a lot of push power, it's very weak in the laning stage. You've got a Chen who's in the jungle, who can rotate around, especially towards the mid lane to help out, but Lycan a weak laner as well. It feels like Na'Vi are going to be wanting to run 2 laning supports here and not go too greedy. Not that I feel kind of bad saying Chen's a greedy pick, but he is kind of offers some vulnerabilities to your lanes.
Yeah, it's not greedy in terms of him wanting to just farm. It's greedy because you open up weaknesses. I agree.
Well, Zeus the pickup for Vega Squadron, so they're going to look to play around this hero themselves with most likely a mid lane Zeus for no one. Na'Vi, we'll see what their answer is going to be. It does have a Bane to protect him in the mid lane. They're going to go for a Dendi Classic most likely. The Puck pickup going to be likely laning up against that Zeus in the mid lane.
Yeah, we saw. I think that was the game of the grand final where Cedric Youth actually won against EHOM when they had the Puck and Lifestealer, and it was also against Ember Spirits, and they were bursting down Ember Spirit quite a lot. I mean, chances are Na'Vi can't pick a Lifestealer here, but Pack was the key ingredient there. You need Pack plus some kind of damage dealer, and Ember Spirit actually doesn't feel safe on the map.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Oh. Something we saw in the Chinese tournament was the Life Stealer plus Puck. I'd love to see some more of that, and maybe something they could consider, although I guess less so with that now that they've picked up the Lycan kind of to fill that farming role. But there's always the offlane Life Stealer, the YYF Classic if you go way back. Vega, though, they've gone global themselves. Prophet with Zeus. You've got Thunder God's Wrath. You've got Nature's Prophet Ultimate. Do they dare pick up something like the Ancient Apparition as well, do you feel?
They could. I don't think they need to. I think it's enough already. Nature's Prophet and Zeus. Ember Spirit's quite mobile, so Ember Spirit just goes on someone with the two of them. I just wonder what Na'Vi are. The dynamic looks to be shaping up in a similar way where it's reversed from the previous game where Na'Vi are going to have some pressure on them to get something done early on. And if Vega Squadron holds, then it probably starts favoring them going towards the late game. So I wonder Na'Vi having the Lich in their draft. When you're the team that wants to get something done early, sure, Lich helps you win a lane, but it's not really going to play a huge role in when you group up and push. So you kind of need to have other heroes that can compensate, I think, for the Lich's lack of contribution. Beastmaster is one of them. This is probably going to be a double Necros lineup based on the fact they have a Beastmaster and a Lycan, and these heroes buy these items, and Beastmaster is a really solid hero right now, I want to say, and that's actually a way to protect Lycan in the safe lane, because if Vega Squadron decides to go pressure Lycan in the safe lane, Beastmaster is going to get a lot of value actually in the off lane. If it is an off lane BM, there could be mid BM and off lane Puck, but I suspect it's an off lane BM, maybe even with the Lich, and that's a hero that really does punish weak safe laners as well. Beastmaster will out farm you, will harass you, will control the lane, and once he's level 6 he'll start killing you.
And it is an Ember Spirit in that safe lane, it looks like an Ember Spirit with the Zeus pickup, a very low armor hero who I feel does not match up well against the Beastmaster. You put the Flame Guard up, Beastmaster doesn't care, he's got physical damage, he'll just take a bit of damage and just fight you with a stout shield, so that could be a very problematic lane for Vega that they're going to have to spend a lot of time kind of protecting from a Beastmaster, and if there's a Lich there, you can't really stop the Beastmaster getting decent amounts of farm from that lane.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder, Na'Vi need a support. They both need a support here, right?
Na'Vi, most likely, unless they're doing something crazy with a Beastmaster support. Vega, similar story, unless they decide they want to mix up their lanes.
Yeah, I guess they could support Zeus or Nature's Prophet in the jungle. I really don't see them doing Nature's Prophet in the jungle. And similarly, I don't really think you want to run a support Zeus when the enemy team is staring you down with a Beastmaster and planning to buy double Necros. It just feels like you're not going to come online and be relevant in the game.
Like a Jakiro.
So yeah, they pick the Jakiro, which is actually gives them with the Jakiro and the Nature's Prophet together, they've got elements of push on their own side, but it's also a support hero that can play a defensive role, that can deal with the enemy team initiating, respond with the Ice Path. So I quite like the pick here, and it actually combines quite nicely with the Bane. You don't need to buy Yules on Jakiro. Well, he might buy it anyway, but you've got the Nightmare set up for Ice Path, Dual Breath, Macropire.
It just seems like pretty solid defense as well. Liquid Fire is going to be something you can just drop on the Necro books and all the Lycan summons to offer some kind of attack speed slow, so seems like a pretty solid pick all around. Na'Vi get some sustain now. They pick up the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor heals something that can add a lot to this push of theirs, which it does feel like they are really going for now with the Witch Doctor pick, and no AA or anything on the side of Vega this time around to deal with that heal factor.
I honestly think that if Ditcher and Axima both get good timing on their Necro 3, they probably just win.
Yep.
A lot has to do with at least one of those heroes needs to be slowed down substantially by Vega Squadron.
And it feels like the Ember needs to have a really good time, because him getting Battle Fury plus crit up to deal with the Necrobooks is going to be essential.
Yeah, obviously, and that's kind of the point. Once, exactly like the previous game, once it gets to a certain point, past a certain turning point in the game, Ember Spirit will be the hero that dictates the game, and not the BM or the Lycan.
Okay, well, we'll see how things unravel here as we've got ourselves into game number 2. Na'Vi, 1-0 lead going their way, and Vega facing elimination here in the BTS Series Europe tournament, and put together a very push-oriented draft here, which we're going to have to see how Vega can deal with. Early TPs head towards the top lane as Artstyle looking to possibly block the pull camp here and just secure the offlane for the Beastmaster of Axmo.
And we probably expect, I mean, there's a lot on the line in this match in the sense that we probably expect whoever wins this match to be the favorites going into the final. Like, no disrespect to NLG, I think it's Fantastic Five they're facing. I don't think either of those teams have, like, you know, have the status that either of these two teams do have. And this is kind of like, in some respects, I could imagine looking back and thinking, like, this was de facto the final of the tournament.
No, and that game one truly delivered. It felt like that could have been a final series. But I want to give a quick shout out to Na'Vi. They've actually fixed their names up. Despite not being a ticketed match, they said we'll be nice guys and change our nicknames in Steam so that we can appear as we should. So we can now tell who is who on their team. Some of the Vega players are making it easy, others not so much. But I can understand, normally they're used to tournaments having tickets so they don't have to adjust their Steam profile names.
Yeah, with Vega, I guess you can at least know from the roles because one of their supports tagged up, and then you know the others, and the other ones we can just judge from who's playing what.
So early bounty rune pickups, no surprises there. And will there be a lane? Well, I guess I don't want to say lane swap because this is intended by Vega, but they're not going to look to send their trial into the top lane. You mentioned making sure one of these core heroes out of the Lycan Beastmaster has a rough time. It's headed bottom lane. They're looking to hurt the Lycan early on, perhaps respecting the fact that Axmo with a Lich cannot really be contested in his lane. They want to mess up the Lycan.
I think this might be the wrong way to do it by Vega. I mean, if things go well and they snowball, then fine, but the risk here is if they slow down the Lycan, but the BM gets like his fast progression into Necros, Lycan doesn't struggle that much to go back into the jungle and catch up. Whereas, I mean, the Beastmaster doesn't have that speed of farming if he has to catch up from very far behind, so this assignment works by Vega Squadron if they shut down the Lycan and then from there just keep snowballing, taking objectives, controlling the map. But if they like just put pressure on Ditchera right at the start and then like pull back and he gets breather room, I think they might end up regretting approaching it this way.
Dendi getting aggressive in the middle lane will orb himself forward, do some damage here. Interesting little change in the puck build, the triple branch puck. This is the let's plant a tree and get the double HP regen from a Tango off. This is, I guess, a different dynamic of how you can play the mid lane. Curious to see how that pans out. But it's a small little change. I don't imagine it affecting the overall outcome of this lane, as both Zeus and Puck should get some farm here.
Yeah, I like it a lot though, because obviously the shared tangos have like really long cooldown. So being able to use one and count that as two, I think very significant actually for. I mean, it does matter in the bigger scheme of things.
And already Zeus putting on a lot of pressure on him. He's forced Dendi to use a salve, and now already chewing through a Tango or two. So Dendi will be pressed to get up to his bottle right now. He hasn't quite got the CS he'd hoped for to get a well-timed bottle here, and Zeus's bottle coming back out could mean more pressure onto Dendi. But bottom lane, where we perhaps should see the action, tri-lane on tri-lane, but right now both teams just kind of posturing, giving what harass they can. Artstyle thinking about going aggressive here at the bottom room, but thinks better of it and will back off to the Witch Doctor's safety and heal.
Yeah, the lane is definitely more difficult for Na'Vi because they've got a Lycan and a Lich, both heroes that like don't really interact that well in a 3v3. But the advantage of the Lich is obviously they can keep pulling the creeps back and denying experience. And like I said, Lycan doesn't mind that as long as Na'Vi aren't like sustaining that many deaths here. I think the Lycan will eventually get breathing room and catch up quite quickly.
Yeah. And having an offensive tri-lane where you're getting denied experience means these heroes are not going to be getting much in the way of levels. You can already kind of see it. They haven't gone for that big camp pull just yet. It doesn't look like it. Whoa, first blood. Zeus is going to actually take out Dendi. No one managing to outplay the Na'Vi mid player. Meanwhile, mid lane, bottom lane, Nightmares come out, and Ember's Spirit going to follow up with a Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, perhaps catching Sneaker by surprise. He's got the Voodoo Restoration up, and that's going to save his life. Can they get any return kills here? It doesn't look like Na'Vi have the damage or the catch. With a Lich in their trail lane, they're probably not expecting to find kills here. They're just expecting to stay alive. And they've managed that. Unfortunately, Dendi could not do that in mid.
I wonder if no one took Dendi by surprise a bit there, because he had 2 points in his bolts at level 4, and recently I feel like mid Zeuses have been going 2 in their arc, and only maxing the bolt after that. So just that much more nuke damage when he turned around and took him on.
As a result, Dendi now just level 4 to the Zeus' level 5, and Zeus with Arcane Boots already, thanks to the first blood money, makes this lane even trickier now for Dendi. So across the board, the lane stage going well for Vega. You've got Nature's Prophet on par for CS with Axmo, even maybe a couple CS ahead. And Axmo getting free control, though, as far as getting levels out of this lane. So once he gets something like a level 6 here, we could see a rotation out of the Beastmaster to use the Raw, or even see a support rotate towards his lane to kind of set up for the Nature's Prophet kill.
Dandy's finally sending out a magic stick. It's actually a bit surprising if you think about it that he didn't start with it, because he had to know that he was against the Zeus. Like we discussed the branch approach. I suppose the approach that he went for without the stick is more of a confident approach, that I'm just going to win this lane by proactively, like, you know, being aggressive, controlling my opponents. It's maybe less of a confidence, like more of a reactionary move to start with the magic stick, assuming that they're going to be like the one dominating.
Caught out, turns and casts, has the voodoo up. That will save his life now. He's out of HP regen as well as mana regen, hits level 3, and probably will just have to back off to Fountain to heal, or even suicide to a neutral camp. He is just not in fighting shape. He buys a TP, and I think he likely will be headed towards those neutrals as we speak.
That's a level 6 Axmo at the top lane now. Doesn't really have that much matter. Yeah, but immediately buys a smoke, so we know what he's thinking. I want to make use of that Raw soon, but the bot lane there's a dive going on.
Yep, DJ Ra could be in some trouble here. There's still 10 seconds by the Witch Doctor, and there's the Zeus ultimate, the fast level 6, courtesy of that first blood. Prophet throws an ultimate as well, but it doesn't actually hit the heroes, it doesn't look like, and Axmo TPing down here on the Beastmaster. Does he have mana for a Raw? Doesn't look like it. He pops the stick, perhaps too early. He hasn't even got the mana for a Wild Axis. He won't get the kill on Sioma. He TPs away. Cask mid-air, and it's going to be Solo who goes down here behind the tower. But that's a big Na'Vi commitment to make that one kill happen.
Yeah, Axmo himself actually could have gone down. I feel like it's possible for Axmo himself to go down there, except that, you know, there's a psychology involved in it. He TP'd down, they don't know he's going to have no mana.
Yeah.
So they have to react to the assumption that he will have mana. And he's now sent himself a bottle, he's got that mana up, and he's smoked immediately towards this mid lane. He wants to use his Raw.
There's 3 heroes here, though, so he's going to be very careful about this. He has not scattered them out with a Hawk or anything. It's going to be a risky kill to go for, and it looks like Vega actually headed towards the top rune. So if he wants to get there, he's going to have to run past the tower, and he actually reveals himself. So the timing just not really working in his favor, as Vega were headed to the top rune. They were also rotating supports to help out the Zeus already, so unsuccessful rotation.
I feel like that's miscommunication though, because Artstyle actually he like went and placed a ward, which he essentially baited them to move up towards the top side of the lane, and
find Ember here, who's not level 6, so
still getting value out of the Raw. And actually the Beastmaster's location was pinged out, so maybe a bit of a mistake there by Pasha to end up getting caught anyway.
Has freed up some space in the top lane for Prophet, who's just farming away now. Curious to see what kind of Prophet we build. We saw a lot of drums rushes coming out from the eastern scene, but I imagine we'll see a different flare coming out from Mag on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he might be tempted to go for the Orchid just to be able to kill the pack. Or control it. I'm not too sure. Maybe he goes for his own Necros to challenge the enemy Necros.
Oh, that's a Lich kill. Lich goes down in the mid lane to the Zeus ultimate. I was keeping an eye on Puck, who's just picked up a smoke. I was wondering, where is Dendi going to rotate? And it is going to be the bottom lane. He's TP'd in. Looks like he's going to find a kill on this Bane, if Solo's not careful here. Don't imagine this will be too tricky of a kill to get for Na'Vi, but unfortunately it's just a Bane. They probably were looking for something a bit bigger with the Dendi rotation, and Solo gonna pop some of the heals, but that's not going to be enough for him to survive this one.
And Solo's probably thinking the same thing. I'm just a Bane. What? Like, I didn't expect you to send so many people to fight me. Not really the end of the world for his team.
Yeah, I guess Na'Vi were hoping that someone... Ember's actually rotated up top, so if anything, that makes that rotation perhaps not quite as worthwhile. Mid lane Art start taking a lot of damage here. The Prophet ultimate with the treants to take the tower. It looks like this Lich is done for. They get the dive, and the counterplay is coming from Dendi and Saniko. They've still got the Dream Call here. Can they get anything out of it? The Dream Call onto 2. Saniko, he's here with Axmo. He's got a Roy. He's going to throw it on the Zeus to secure this kill. And now Nature's Prophet in some trouble. Has a TP out. He may just want to go for that when he's trying to bring down Saniko with a Sprout. One more right click will be enough. And he's actually holding his own pretty well here. Axmo, not really a viable kill for them at the time being until they get more heroes in this mid lane. And a Zeus for a Witch Doctor. Overall worth it for Na'Vi. They did use a Smoke and a Dream Coil, and as well as the Raw, but it was one of the more well-farmed heroes on the Vega side. In fact, the most well-farmed hero on their side.
Yeah, the most farmed in the whole game, so always going to be worthwhile, I think. And yeah, Na'Vi, it's interesting because that's twice now that Beastmaster's rotation has like not really been that efficient, and then it like this the sort of like second attempt, turn and go somewhere else, ends up being worthwhile, making an important kill.
Yeah. Normally it's like you show, because the failed attempt shows himself on the map, so if anything the follow-up should be unsuccessful because they've got the scouting information. And something Vega's done is actually get a lane ward / a river ward up top, and then the similar ward towards the bottom side of the map. So they've got a lot of control around the river, but Na'Vi are just continually smoking. They're going to go for another one as Puck gets Dreamcore back up once more. And this could be another death onto the Zeus. They found him. The cask is there. Dendi gets the catch, and he doesn't even need to use the Dreamcore for this. Nico and Dendi teaming up to find Zeus 2 times in a row.
And the very important thing here is that if you go down to Radiant jungle, Ditchera's now got some uncontested farm. He's been catching up, farming the jungle. He's going to get that Vlad soon. After that, he'll no doubt be building into Necros. And the Beastmaster already building into the Necros is also down here actually with the Raw again. So this is another kill.
Solo's going to go for the deny. I think it's mistimed though. And yep, they'll get the kill. Meanwhile, in the dire jungle, a bit more action happening. Sneaker's gone in deep. I think looking, he put down a deep observer ward here. He's in a bit of trouble though, and Prophet may be low, but he's not going down. And that's about the Prophet build. It will be a Drum of Endurance coming out from Mag, so doing what we've been seeing from some of the other Nature's Prophet players.
He's been watching Chinese Dota, you think?
Perhaps. I mean, Mag definitely not known for playing Nature's Prophet. I feel like as far as Mag heroes go, this is a very unconventional one for him. Known for playing Centaur, Clockwork, normally the initiating type offlaners, but he's so far played very well on the Prophet this game, not showing any discomfort with the hero.
Yeah, he's looking fine. It's interesting, I mean, yeah, it's tough to say in terms of like, I was kind of making a joke about him watching Chinese Dota, but like new ideas in Dota often come from various places at the same time. Or there's actually a Ditchera is being Fiend script, and finally Solo gets his revenge down at the bot lane. New ideas are often had by multiple people at the same time, but similar, like the contrasting point is that Dota players do copy each other very, very quickly. I remember seeing an interview where Ohio said that he learned to play Nature's Prophet just by copying Admiral Bulldog. Like he'd never played the hero before he saw Bulldog playing it, and it's a similar thing where I sort of feel like he could have just watched a couple of Chinese games recently and been like, huh, Drum, that's pretty good.
No, it's really good. And now probably more so than ever, I think the players are really watching a lot of replays and seeing what other teams are doing. I saw like FNG and lots of the Western players tweeting and talking about the games happening in China because it's a new patch. Nobody quite knows how to play the new patch, what the best playstyle is going to be. So getting a different perspective on things, I feel is really valuable for any team out there. Like the Chinese teams should be watching all the Western games and vice versa at this stage, just because 6.86, well now 6.86b is so unexplored.
Dendi is getting extremely close to his Blink Dagger, and no one who sensed the gank ran away and then used his ulti anyway just to scout. I think possibly also for his team at the bot.
Yeah, because he actually knew they were up top. They have that dire observer ward in the lane, so he knew he was in danger. The ulti, I think, suggesting they were looking for a catch at bottom or in the jungle.
Makes sense. What do you think? I mean,
Sneako's got max heal,
they're actually
by
going to
the
go
way.
for no one.
No one will get the rune, no Dream Coil. But yeah, Sneako on the Witch Doctor, maxing heal. If you needed any more signs that Na'Vi was going for a push, this is definitely it.
And Dendi is a couple gold away from his Blink. He's going to pick it up now, and I don't know if maybe someone joins him to try and make the kill at the top, but again, scouted by the ward, so Mag definitely knows that Dendi's around. And
he scouts out the Blink with the Treant, so Dendi should not be successful. The Treant, okay, it hits him, cancels his Blink, and Dendi, it looks like, will back off. Perhaps going to readjust to mid lane. Smoke from Solo. He could catch Dichara here. It is going to be a grip. Here comes the Ember Spirit with the Fire Remnant. The ultis as well should follow this one up. Dichara gonna go down, and the return coming in from the Lich Ultimate, the Raw. It looks like they want the Ember Spirit, but the Defensive Nightmare helping cover his retreat. Sioma now getting orbed up. Dendi going to throw out the Dream Call. There's the Witch Doctor Ultimate from the high ground. The bounce with the cast. Nico again! The hero of this Na'Vi team doing so much damage. Nature's Prophet off to the side, though. It looks like maybe able to get the kill here with the Treants. Is the block going to be enough? So Nico gets away for now. Keep track on the main fight over here as Dendi is chasing down with Axmo, looking for Sioma. It's going to be Nature's Prophet committing in mid. Finds Artsal now. This Mag Nature's Prophet doing work. Has another drum charge soon. He's going to get the Zeus Ultimate Witch Doctor on 20 HP. Barely survives. Lycan TP's back in with an ulti, and it's going to be a Mag Sprout TP. Is he out? The Quelling Blade from Dichara, not enough to get him inside and get him the kill. Bit of a, I feel like I want to say even fight. Zeus actually bolt back for that though, so that actually makes it Na'Vi favored.
Yeah, it's slightly Navi favored. I mean, it's a bit of an issue that Ditchara keeps going down, but I've said a few times, like, whenever he finds that short gap in the game, he's gonna suddenly just farm his entire Necro 3. I don't know if you noticed, but it looked to me like Solo's Nightmare, his defensive Nightmare actually cancelled the Chain Frost. Because that Chain Frost, did you see it bounce anywhere?
No, I did not. He may have done that because I did not see a single bounce. Unless it bounced like the neutrals and then vanished from my screen, but I didn't see it bounce at all.
No, I was actually looking at the neutrals and that's why I was confused. So I guess that the right timing on Nightmare can actually cancel the entire Chain Frost rather than just dodging one hit.
Oh. That's a nice way of handling it. So, Vega now, looking at the overall state of things, still holding a very slight net worth lead, but I don't think you can consider it, even if this net worth lead was bigger, you're worried about Na'Vi coming online with Necrobook. That's when towers start to fall and Na'Vi momentum swings their way.
If you look at Mag's inventory, the fact that he's building against that Aghanims, that says a lot about like how they feel about the game, that they're gonna... I feel like going so early into this Aghanim suggests that they want to have a way to, you know, globally split push, keep the waves pushing so that Na'Vi won't get those opportunities to group up and pressure.
Dandy's got level 10 with the blink. We'll see where he goes for his next pickoffs here. Looks like for the time being, not going to see too much. Bottom lane, oh, Ember Spirit, silence up with a Dream Call, the Death Ward, not going to do the damage it needed. And they'll back off. To mid lane, group up Vega.
I feel like the bot lane in this game has actually been like Solo's lane more than anyone for Vega. Like, he's actually the hero who always goes back there and pushes up the lane.
Path going to slow down the chase at mid lane. Dendy orbing forward. There's the ulties, the Zeus with the Nature's Prophet. They get a kill on the Lich to start things off. The Chain Frost this time bouncing around. But Dendy already dead. The Zeus damage proving to be too much for him. The chase is now on for Axmo on the Beastmaster. He's got a roll, but he won't get a chance to use it. Nor can Na'Vi really fight this one. They lose 3 and it's possibly about to be a 4th. Jakiro gets the last hit and Vega, they win a fight. They've got a draft that can break towers pretty quickly themselves with the Prophet and the Liquid Fire. Expect towers to fall.
Yeah, and suddenly we see the importance of the Chen in the draft last game for Vega Squadron, because like similarly there was like that global presence of the Zeus AA Spectre. Here we've got the Zeus and the Nature's Prophet. But over here, they burst out the damage and there isn't really a response. That's why Seneca's maxed out his heal. Well, he's got 3 points in it, but it's not as immediate as the Chen heal. You know, your heroes need to stay alive a while, stand near Witch Doctor to actually counteract the burst from the Zeus and the Nature's Prophet. And it almost looked a bit like Na'Vi just like didn't fully appreciate how much they could be burst down, and it wanted to go in and suddenly realized, hang on, we're both on like red HP. What are we doing here? Even
having a mech would make a big difference. Because like you said, they need the burst heal. Like they could possibly substitute a mech for not having something like a Chen, but who's going to farm it? They've got Beastmaster and Lycan going the Necrobook route. Dendy, he's a puck. It's not really an ideal mech candidate, and the 2 supports aren't really in shape to farm those kind of items right now. So there's just no way they can burst heal against the Zeus as well as the Nature's Prophet ultimates in a team fight for some time. That's where I feel like they really need to start taking towers quick. That's going to be their kind of their way back into this game, and that's going to give them the gold they need to be able to fight into this team fight. Dendy looking for a solo kill here on Mag. I don't think he's getting this one though, and he walks into an ice path. A couple more right clicks coming in. Dendy going to orb to the south, gets away for now, possibly putting Saniko in some trouble as he gets slowed down here. Probably going to TP in. I don't see a way out for Saniko here. The ice path clips and Saniko gets bolted. Dendy, too aggressive,
on the one
thinking
hand,
he
you
can
could
kill
say
Prophet.
At least they pulled a lot of heroes there and only lost the supports, but at the same time, Pasha was getting some space on his Ember Spirits, and maybe if Na'Vi get this mid tower now, they'll feel that it's okay that they lose the Witch Doctor because they brought all the enemy heroes there.
Vega actually TPing in. Prophet's here with Treants. Ember here as well. We'll see what Na'Vi do about this. They may just try to leave the summons to try to finish off the tower. The catch is there. Ember Spirit gets a nice Slider Fist Searing Chains combo. Dietrich are going to pop the ultimate. It looks like defensively, but here come Vega from the north. They're smoked up. Axmo stayed too long. He's got a roar. Can he even get it off? Nope, he's gripped. Ember's going to make sure they get that 1 kill and not going to go for a second one here. The Lycan already at the bottom lane and completely vacating. Na'Vi have only taken a single tower this game, and that was their first tower now at 18.5 minutes in. Puck actually going to get sniped as well by the Zeus.
It's feeling so reminiscent of the previous game, even in terms of item timings, because last game I said that Vega Squadron had this gyrocopter that, like, when he gets BKB, Na'Vi can't do anything, but then he just got it too late. And here we've got, like, if Lycan and BM both get their Necros, then Vega are in big trouble. But, I mean, Lycan's only just got his Necro level 1, BM has been stalling on his Necro 2 for ages, and I feel like they're gonna get to the double Necro 3s, but at this rate, it's gonna be a bit of a joke by the time they get there, because Vega Squadron's just gonna have so many more items at their disposal.
I didn't catch it, but that's a sad lich. He just died to a Zeus plus Prophet ultimate. Nothing more. Perhaps had taken a bit of damage. There was a treant next to him, so it's a sad life to be a lich.
Artstyle's 8th position lich. He's the one who has to buy the mech probably, but good luck getting there.
By the way, something I wanted to ask you about. I haven't seen this before. Sioma's Jakiro going for a max ice path build, no points in the dual breath. What do you feel like the reasoning behind this is?
I guess one thing is that dual breath requires you to be a bit closer, so it's a safer build, and a lot of the time on support heroes, just being able to like die less is a very big deal, and if you can fight around the edges, that helps you die less. It's also, I spoke in the draft about how they've got the setup. They've got the Ember Spirit's stunned. Well, Ember Spirit's actually been caught in the mid lane, and no, he's going to jump away. They've got Ember Spirit's chains. They've got the Nature's Prophet Sprout, the Bane Elemental's sleep. So the Ice Pod is like quite reliable in this game. It's going to be even more reliable when he gets his Yules, which he's building into soon. But I would say the main thing is probably just that he wants to be not at the front. I don't know, actually, then again, like, who does want to be at the front in Vega Squadron's team? It's felt like it's been Mag most of the time.
And Mag is actually pretty tanky here. Zeus gonna TP away from a smoke gank. Na'Vi, that smoke gank was actually very hard to read, I feel. They failed a kill on the Ember Spirit mid with Dendi with the Silence Dream Call, and then immediately the other 4 heroes go for a smoke rotation top while Dendi stays mid showing himself, so impressive stuff from No One to get away from that gank.
Yeah, on the one hand, they've been trying to gank No One all game, but on the other hand, Dendi's always been right at the front of those ganks, so I completely agree. It's a good read, and now it's actually Na'Vi getting pressured on their bot tower. They might get a trade off for the top tower, but it's not. I mean, they're the ones who are meant to be ahead on towers. It's meant to be Vega Squadron who needs to split to react to them, and it feels like Na'Vi is actually being forced to split to react to Vega Squadron.
Well, Na'Vi get a tier 1 tower, but they've lost a tier 2 and possibly see the high ground coming out of Vega. Who needs farm? Who needs Ember Spirit, Battle Furies, and crits? They're just going to go into the high ground. The Ice Arm are going to look to slow this down a little bit, but if anything, Vega could just look for the jump for the kills. They throw the Zeus ultimate, they get Lich immediately. 35 seconds dead now is art style. I'd say that's a long respawn for a Lich. I don't know if he bought back last time. He did buy back early in the game, but for Na'Vi, defending this is going to be tricky. Ember has the Aegis. They can't overcommit spells onto him. The Ice Path will slightly miss. And it looks like Lycan going to pop an ultimate in preparation to fight this one. Zeus goes in with a silence. Who's the target going to be from DTR? Gets the Necrobook out. There's the cast with the Death Ward. Zeus is the target, and they're going to bring him down. The Chain Stun proving to be too much, and the Ice Path being on cooldown. Sioma could not cancel the Death Ward, and Na'Vi have taken out 2 as well as an Aegis. Can they get a secondary kill on the Ember Spirit? Has he got a Remnant out? He cast one, but he's already dead, and Na'Vi with a fantastic high ground defense here. Vega perhaps rushing things a bit. And that's a big turnaround. A 4,000 gold swing goes Na'Vi's way.
I actually think if Vega end up losing this game, I mean, they're not losing right now, but if they end up losing, they'll look back at the replay and they'll be like, this is where we lost the game at this push, because they definitely didn't need to sustain such a bad fight. Now Lycan's finished his Necro 3, BM had finished this just before then. And there's maybe some room, although not that much, for Na'Vi to try and turn around momentum a bit. Dandy's going to finish his Yules, maybe he can dodge some of the nuke damage with that. I would say that Vega is still in the lead. The one major problem for them is that the Ember Spirit has not even got his Battle Fury yet, and we did say that when the time comes for Na'Vi to group up with the double Necros and push, that Ember Spirit's itemizing is actually going to be quite significant.
Bane with a haste rune. It looks like he's on a deep mission here in the enemy side of the map, trying to find a pickup perhaps. They throw Zeus ultimate. I think that's just to give Bane some vision, but he's been scouted out by a Radiant Observer Ward, and its art style is very low in hit points.
And you know what it actually is? The reason that I think Pasha's maybe a little bit behind in his farm is actually because Mag got that early Aghanim Scepter. And sure, the Aghanim Scepter is what's going to make it difficult for Na'Vi to push. It's going to just keep all the lanes pushing all the time.
Yeah.
But you can't ignore the fact that Nature's Prophet, like using his ulti to push the lanes all the time, is making it more difficult for his Ember Spirit to find farm.
Oh, I totally agree. And it's not, I don't even feel like Pasha's been trying to fight too much and not have farm time when he can. I've seen him like farming in the jungle and taking what little is there available on lanes, but it's proving much more difficult for him. If it's putting pressure on the Mag now, he's going to be the one to kind of carry the reins. He's got the Octarine coming as his next item after the Aghanim Scepter and has almost actually completed it. So a ton of farm on this Nature's Prophet, but with great farm comes great responsibility. If he dies, that's a big gold pot waiting for Na'Vi to claim right now.
Yeah, or even if he doesn't die, if Na'Vi just managed to like push through a lane despite the Nature's Prophet ulti all the time, we might find that Vega aren't like fully prepared to stop the double Necro 3 push just yet. So far, Mag's doing a fine job of making it pretty much impossible for Na'Vi to actually get to a building because all the lanes are pushing in all the time. So yeah, it is, the responsibility does fall to Mag, and it's a big call. I mean, I feel like you got to be careful about when you he hasn't been ulting just every single time it comes off cooldown. I think that's quite important.
Yes.
Like there's at least some like thinking about when he should use it.
Yeah, it seems like if Na'Vi are grouped up in a lane or trying to really pressure someone, he's throwing the ultimate, but typically it's not just like spam whenever available. For Vega, they're still just sitting back getting what farm they can. You see Prophet being respectful of the rest of his team, just farming up at the Ancients. And do you feel like there's pressure for Na'Vi to make the next move, or are they just going to be waiting for opportunities to present themselves right now?
I think there is some pressure on them to make a move. I think that they need to be careful not to get stuck in this kind of habit of, oh well, our lanes are being pushed, we have to keep pushing them out, because eventually Ember Spirit will get that farm, and then the game just becomes, you know, super difficult, close to impossible for them. By the way, Seneko actually finished the entire mech.
Yeah,
so
after that last fight, he did so much in that last fight. I mean, Seneko's sanking was impressive, but again, he's having a great game. And Dendi, almost dying here. He's got a phase shift. He's got an orb as well. Whoa, that was way too close for comfort for him. And Lycan coming in with the ulti of his own with the Necrobook. Ember's already had all his mana burn. This looks like a kill backup, not really nearby. Down will go Ember. Prophet was a little bit too late. I don't think the Sprout would have helped considering there was a Quelling Blade there.
And it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of the one hero they really don't want to have dying. I mean, yeah, sure, we say Nature's Prophet, if he dies, he can't be pushing out the lanes, but Ember Spirit's the one who, he's like the missing piece of the puzzle for Vega Squadron. Especially after they failed their push where they tried to go for the early high ground at the bot lane. Like, they want him to get farmed. Dendi's been caught again. I think he's okay.
There's a Zeus ultimate he's got to be a little bit wary of, but he's healthy enough to survive that one. Seems Na'Vi want to just go for that timing where they're going to have... It's probably not going to be the Necro 3 timing with how bad the early game went. Like, we talked during the draft, like, okay, double Necro 3, game could just end. But with how bad the start went... Oh, Artsel caught out, and looks like Dendi can just run the hell out of there. But to finish the point, with how bad the start of the game went, it possibly will become like a BKB timing for Na'Vi. When they get the BKB on Lycan, as well as like a mech, and it seems Lich is possibly building a pipe. That's not really an item we can talk about because it's miles away. That's going to be more Na'Vi's next timing, with a pick-off into a BKB Lycan push.
So what's the next item for... Okay, it's the Blink Dagger for Beastmaster, obviously. That's what I was about to ask. And maybe that's also, like... I think I agree with you that the BKB is the timing for the push, unless they get an important pick-off, like, in a good position. If they smoke up this top lane now, for example, and Beastmaster catches someone, they kill someone, they might just decide, okay, to hell with it, we'll just push. But otherwise, I also see them waiting for the BKB.
Yep. Swinging up towards the top lane.
Did you see when Artsel died? Sorry.
I did not see how it happened. Was that just like the Zeus Prophet ulti?
It was the same as the... Yeah, it was Prophet and Zeus ulti, and Prophet TP'd in and attacked once. That was like his full HP. So he's actually bought a Bracer now.
Yeah. He's just going for HP gaming. I saw him with a double ring of regen and boots. I'm like, I don't think that's the build that's going to help you survive against the Zeus and Prophet. He needs some definite raw HP right now. I guess this.
He's just trying to be selfless, right? So I'm not going to buy for myself. I'll buy for the team. I'll get straight into pipe. But there's a point at which, you know, you have to take care of yourself before you can help other people.
Absolutely. At this rate, Seneko is could definitely farm the pipe before art style. That goes without saying. So if they really want a pipe, maybe they tell Sunico, hey buddy, you want to get one for us? Could be pretty useful. But even Beastmaster may be going to become a pipe candidate for the team. And oh, by the way, he's dead again in the mid lane. The Zeus ulti, the Prophet ultimate, he at some point he's just going to consider not moving out on the map. This is the saddest Lich I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, Dream Coil used defensively. I think it was just to cover the retreat there, as Lycan was taking a lot of damage from the magic nukes.
There is a BKB up now on Lycan. I mean, there's potential in the right position for Na'Vi to get a really good fight with both their Necros, the Raw, and the Lycan ulti and the BKB, but they're struggling to find themselves in that position, and one of the reasons is the Nature's Prophet ulti just pushing the map all the time. Another reason is that the Lich just keeps getting picked off like 24/7. If they do find that position, though, I do think Na'Vi have what it takes to win a fight, and if they were to win a big fight, it's very bad news for Vega Squadron.
Well, Lycan, Wolf, and Beastmaster, Quillbore, and Beastmaster Hawk, everything being used to scatter the Roshan, although they'll lose the Hawk thanks to a Roshan clap. And Vega, they get cold feet. They're not going to go for the Rosh right now. Dicharat smoked. Is he just going to go right into the pit? Zeus is nearby, can scout it out. Dicharat summons the Necrobooks, the Wolves. He can do this very quick. The Howl has been used, so Vega may catch wind of this one, but it looks like they're not going to get here in time. Prophet's TP top. Zeus is going to scout out now with the Bolt. Can they get in time? Here's Ember Spirit. He's come back, but it's too late. Dicharat gets himself the Aegis. He's going to pop the ultimate now. Look to turn and find a great Ice Path, but Dicharat BKB'd up. They've lost Witch Doctor as well as the Puck, the Fiend Script, keeping Dendi in place. Dicharat can get one kill perhaps, but he's going to be so low in HP, and if he dies, he will not have the Shapeshift. Needs to be careful. He's in a quick retreat here. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, not quite there, and Prophet's TP was not where it needed to be, and that was Dicharat without a Quelling Blade. That could have been a kill if they got the Sprout. But for Vega, they don't secure Roshan, but they do manage to win the ensuing team fight.
Yeah, and that's pretty important because Lycan's used his Necros and his BKB. Although actually Beastmaster hasn't used his ulti or his Necros, so I think actually Na'Vi have some tools to defend, and Vega needs to be careful they don't repeat what happened at the bot lane when they tried to high ground 10 minutes ago.
Yep. Oh, blink in, Raw, they want the Ember Spirit. He gets Nightmared up now, means the Necrobooks can't do what they want to do right away. Axmo as well as the Lich! Where did the Lich even die? Oh, they've lost Axmo in the front lines. Lich was right in front of my face as well. He gets taken out. And Vega, they're going to look to take this tower here. Dendi coming back in another Searing Chains onto Sunico. There's no one. The backline's just spamming down those nukes. The Sleight of Fist getting spammed out as well. And Na'Vi just can't get close to defend. They blink him with the silence. The Dream Call. Life Stealer. Oh, sorry, Lycan going to pop the ultimate and look to go in as well. But Dendi's already dropped. Bane. Solo in trouble. Goes down. This does open up Deech around the front lines here. But his BKB, only a little bit of duration left. And he's going to have to back off as Vega can continue to push if they want to, but another Sleight of Fist Searing Chain soon, and Sunico possibly the target for that one. Zeus ultimate, they'll catch Sunico here. Dendi going to be forced into a buyback situation. Lycan low as well, he's got the agent. It looks like he just wants to throw it. The Yule's going to cancel off the Flame Guard, but Ember Spirit forced off to the low ground. Nice play coming out from no one, and Dendi has been thrown up in the air. There's no Ice Path to cut him off though. And it looks like the TP out from Vega. Nothing there to cancel it right now. The Raw up in 2 seconds. Can they catch this Prophet? We talked about how big a kill this is going to be, and it looks like they will be able to get it. This could be a lot of money going Na'Vi's way, but realistically, they've lost a lot to get it. Raw from Axmo, going to get thrown. Have they got the damage for this one? He could go for the TP still. He's going for the TP out. Mag will knock it out. Silence with the orb. Finish him off. Vega get a range Rax at mid, and there we go. 1,400 gold for Dendi's Puck. And it doesn't look like it was affected by the buyback penalty as well.
Yeah, the really big difference in that fight to the one at the bot push is that Beastmaster felt pressured to go in before his whole team was alive. Because of that bot push, Na'Vi were kind of all ready, and I think Vega weren't ready for how strong they were, and suddenly they were just like getting owned and on their retreats. Whereas this time, Beastmaster goes in and Vega just kind of stand their ground, defensive Nightmare, turn things around, burst enemies down, and I guess if Axmo had waited, the Raxes are dead anyway, so it was kind of the catch-22 situation where you go for the risky play, end up being punished, but if you had gone for the safe play, you lose the Raxes anyway.
Well, you can tell it's a sad Lich. He's sold his 2 Ring of Regens have disappeared, and he's replaced it with a Cloak. scraping together what gold he can just to stay alive, and I guess he's no longer going for the pipe. That's going to fall into the hands of Siniko, who's picked up a hood now. I think recognizing someone's going to buy a pipe, and who's actually going to be able to farm it. So Beastmaster or Witch Doctor really the only two candidates.
Dendy's bought a casual cloak as well. I mean, he might want to make a glimmer cape or something with it, but it seems like they're now starting to respect the spell damage from Zeus and Nature's Prophet Burst that they've been dealing with all game.
We'll see what comes from it. Any chance of an Aether Lens on Puck? It doesn't increase the AoE of the Waning Rift, does it? It wouldn't. It doesn't have any effect on Waning Rift, I would guess.
I don't think so.
It would make your Illusionary Orb probably longer, but your Illusionary Orb is already 2k range, so there's not much point to that. Dream Coil cast range increases.
Do you think we'll see the first ever Aether Lens just for the stats?
Yeah. The actual mana pool, I don't really think he needs. Mid lane, there's a catch. It's like and Dicharai, there's a grip as well. No BKB for you. Zeus ultimate gets the vision they need for Axma, who's got a Glimmer Cape. Can they catch up to him? They're going to fire Remnant forward, and Axma will get caught by the Searing Chains. Locked in place. Prophet with the double ultimate. Dicharai now looking to fight. He knows there's no Fiend's Grip. It looks like he wants to use this buyback to turn things around as the Chain Frost will start bouncing around. The Ice Path is there, but Ember Spirit takes a spill. Na'Vi are chasing. They want more. They've got the Puck Yules. He blinks forward with the silence. Gets Yules up in the air, all forward himself. He's still looking to catch the Ice Path is there waiting, so he's not going to jaunt himself into it. And Lycan still in the front lines causing problems. It's going to be Solo on the side. Ghost Scepter keeps him alive a little bit longer, and Dendy wants his kill, it seems. He's going to go forward. No silence, no spells for some time. Dodges. What could have been a Nightmare or a Brain Sap, and it looks like he's going to back off and possibly change target. Siniko, cast, Maledict. Can Dendy get any damage to follow this one up? He orbs in, has his silence, will hit onto Sioma. The Maledict is level 4, and Sioma gets his TP cancelled by a Yule Scepter. Dendy trying to get the most out of this one, but not sure this is going as great as Na'Vi were perhaps hoping for. They won't even get the Jakiro! Oh no! Dendy orb, he goes forward. Can he get Sioma? No, he can with the Dream Call. He pays for it with his life, and ultimately not really the outcome he was hoping for there. He's now dead for 70 plus seconds, and, well, Na'Vi's base, it's in tatters. This is probably push time for Vega. They've got Ember respawning soon. Prophet can just unleash the treants all over the map, and Na'Vi's hopes to stay in this game much longer, getting continually diminished.
Yeah, the start of the fight looked a bit worrying for me in terms of Vega, because I think they maybe overestimated. It's a similar issue that Na'Vi had at certain stages in the last game. Like, they've got this crazy burst combo to initiate, but after that their damage output is pretty specific. It's mostly Zeus. Yep. The Nature's Prophet is not doing damage outside of his ultis, and the Ember Spirit is farmed, but he's not that farmed. So with the Zeus and the Ember going down at the start of the fights, I think Na'Vi felt like, okay, we can do whatever we want, and Dendy maybe just took it a bit too far. Zeus nearly got caught at the top lane right now, but blinked away at the last second, triggered his Invis rune.
I like the idea from the Lycan buyback. It was like, okay, they just use not just like the Refresher Wrath of Nature with a Zeus ultimate, and most importantly, I feel they use the Fiend script. So Lycan's like, if I buy back and we fight this, it should go incredibly well for us. And I think it would have gone fantastic for Na'Vi, except they just didn't have the catch and lockdown. Everyone from Vega managed to get out of there, apart from like a kill or two like on the Zeus. So if Na'Vi had the ability to catch a bit better there, it would have been like, or if Vega decided to stay and fight, it would have been a terrible fight for Vega to take.
I just saw Artstyle like sell a few more items. Yeah, he's finishing a Glimmer Cape. He had like a casual gauntlet and like a branch or something, and he just sold them as well. Just like no regard for the finance of the situation. He just like mixes and matches when he can't get something. Although to be fair, Glimmer Cape is like super high value item here. There's a gem on the Bane, there's a Zeus Bolt and ulti, but outside of that there's no other reveal. So if the Bane were to go down, the Zeus ulti is used. You could imagine the invisibility helping. Certainly the spell resistance helps, and Beastmaster's also got a Glimmer Cape. But Nature's Prophet actually now moving into that Scythe of Vice, so having some more utility outside of the ultis, because I do feel like most of Nature's Prophet's gold, sure, he's like by far the richest on the map, but most of it is like in ultis. That's, you know, the hero doesn't really, up until this Hex, didn't really do that much outside of ulting.
Yeah, and now throwing in some extra catch. And with the Octarine Core, this Hex does have a shorter cooldown as well that he can play around, so a lot of uptime, also a refresher, so he can get the double Hex off in a team fight potentially. Vega still have firm control. It seems they do want to keep the lanes pushed and possibly wait for a Roshan. Uh-oh, Dendi, there's the Hex. Lightning bolts come out. It's going to be a refresh. Hex Prophet decides this is the kill we want. One more bolt. Will they get in time? There's the Yules, though. Dendi, he's going to find his way out of this one, it looks like, and the return kills are coming. Raw onto the Zeus. He's going to go down. Dendi just drops a coil, orbs for some vision. He's looking to get the hell out of here, and a slightly fumbled gank attempt from Vega. Prophet committing the refresher. They just didn't quite have the damage. Zeus, was he trying to hold his ultimate there, or was it not quite up? Because he's still actually got it right now.
It was cooling down.
Oh.
It was cooling down. It cooled down pretty much exactly as he died.
What?
So, yeah, it's I don't know. And Zeus is an important kill. Like I said, that fight at the mid lane, it was really big for Na'Vi when they killed Zeus and Ember at the start. Honestly, any fight where they kill Zeus and Ember Spirits, or they kill one of the two and the other one's running away, Na'Vi have like absolute control of that fight.
Working with a Deso now, so it's still a fairly volatile position to be in if you're Vega, because if you lose a team fight, Navi's push will break your base in no time at all. So Vega do have to play this game very cautiously as a result. They're not going to rush into a push, I imagine, because of the nature of this game being very minimal room for error.
This is a bit like, you remember the game we cast where CDC got knocked out because they were running the Naga Siren and like they looked like not completely comfortable with how to approach the game with it, and Vega looking a bit more comfortable, but it is kind of like, I think this is a team that's used to winning by having an advantage and then just forcing their way through you or winning a fight or something. And the way that the lead they have is like a lot in the Nature's Prophet, and the way he's itemized and the way you play this kind of Nature's Prophet is, I would say, quite different to the way that Vega usually approach the game, and it might be responsible for why they're occasionally getting these deaths on the Zeus.
Glimmer in, Axmo blinks in, gets the Raw up top, he finds the Zeus, but there is a Prophet who's TP'd in, adds some backup. Zeus throws an ultimate. Witch Doctor, where's he at? He's trying to get in there, but the Sprout is actually going to block it off, and Zeus blink TP away. That Sprout saving lives, although possibly not going to save his own life. Is there a cancel for this one? The Death Ward Maledict Prophet going to take a lot of damage, but he's in his fountain now, so he will be able to heal himself back up. Mid lane, Deecherai popped an ultimate, not entirely sure what was happening there, but Na'Vi look for pickoffs across the map and do not find anything.
So Mag just bought a Blink Dagger, so he's like pretty much maxed out. I guess he can change phase boots into boots of travel, and after that he's got to like readjust his entire item ball if he wants to improve something. I guess he could get a Moonshard, or not really gonna be that relevant to Moonshard in this game.
Yeah, at this point it's not really, like you say, there's nothing really there to upgrade, so that's at some points, like, it's great, your Prophet 6 slotted, but it's a cause for concern when you haven't won the game yet. Navi's still holding on to some extent, and it's not like you can say, okay, Prophet, just stop farming. You want him to be spamming his ultimate, pushing out lane, so he's going to eat up more farm from the team, despite the fact he's already kind of peaked and maxed out. So for Vega, they've got to be very wary of how they're going to actually win and close out this game.
Hopefully Mag will start buying all the wards on his team now. Wards, sentries, gems, stuff like that. And I guess he could go for like a 7th item Necro or something after he gets travels.
With Aegis in hand, it seems Vega want to push. They haven't actually taken a single melee Rax this game. It's just the range Raxes, and that's where Na'Vi haven't actually felt all that much pressure from the mid lane or the bottom lane, but looking to change that is Vega now at bottom. An Ember Spirit on the front lines, but not really the ideal hero to try and break buildings with, and that's something we're going to see possibly cause some issues here. Puck, TP's in, immediate blink backwards, and Prophet going to throw the first ultimate, perhaps looking to push out the mid and the top lane. Artsal glimmers forward. Bolt will scout him out, and that's something Vega have to be very wary of, is those Glimmer Cape initiations. If they have Bane too far back, they may not be able to scout out the Invis initiations of the Na'Vi hero. Axmo just getting hexed up. That's just kind of defensive hex trying to secure them a melee Rax, perhaps, but this is just not working for Vega here. 2 heroes searing chains off. There's the Zeus ultimate. Axmo's blinked in. They're looking for Zeus, who has got a cheese, so they're going to burst him down before he can use it. He gets 4 stuff out of there. The Chain Frost bouncing back to the creeps, not really doing a whole lot, but the Witch Doctor ultimate will break the Ember Aegis. Doesn't come at too big a cost, but Deecherai, he's in trouble. He's gone in too deep, and the Fiend Script bring him down. He's got no buyback as well. Na'Vi now, without their Lycan, going to have to defend, and all they've taken out is the Aegis. Looks like Vega should be able to get a few more kills, and Deecherai calls it. Without a Lycan, Na'Vi are nothing.
You asked in the draft about Lycan as anything except for a pusher, and we kind of saw there the issue. Lycan, like, looking really strong, charges onto Zeus. Zeus gets 4-staffed away, tries to go on Bane, Bane Ghost Scepters, turns around for a 3rd target, and suddenly he's being Fiend Script. It's just like, the hero was not in its element at this stage in the game, wanted to be pushing, wanted to be pressuring. Vega actually the ones doing the pressuring all game long, especially ever since Mag got that Aghanim Scepter. And we spoke about how he had a lot of responsibility, but I think he took the responsibility. He only died once the entire game, and in the end, like a pretty neat finish for his team.
Okay, well, Vega, they force a game 3. These two teams going neck and neck in both Game 1 and Game 2. Two very interesting drafts. Kind of Na'Vi adopting the Vega playstyle here in Game number 2, and in some ways a similar game. It is a Game 3 decider. I'm excited. We get a third game, and it feels like, with the way the two teams have played, it should be going to a Game 3. I don't really feel like either team, Scant, has an edge over the other right now.
Yeah, and especially if we're discussing how, like, to some extent, this feels like the grand final. These certainly feel like the two highest profile teams left in the tournament, and I think it does justice to the first game that there'd be a third game, regardless. You know, I want to see more of these teams fighting each other.
All right, well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Game 3, the decider of the semi-finals here in the BTS Series Europe Tournament number 1. Vega or Na'Vi going through the grand finals. The other will be finishing in 3rd, 4th place. Listening to Beyond the Summit. Don't go anywhere.